Okay, all right, I gotta start over.
Mad
Donka. It's Donka, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
simpler. It's easier to go.
We're sitting here eating.
Yeah.
We're at the Milwaukee Symposium. They're feeding us dinner. I'm sitting outside talking to him. And instead of talking about tools and stuff, now we're talking about, you see I'm all fired up. He said he just finished a book called The
Tetrahedral Model of Experience.
Tetrahedral Model of Experience. And when he started explaining it, I'm like, this is right up your alley, right up my alley. So tell us about it again.
Okay, so we kind of know from history and esoteric truths that life kind of falls into these four categories: thoughts and feelings, material experience, and spirituality, right? And I've been pulling tarot cards for years, and there was always like a gap, like a missing something for me, that it didn't make sense how it all fit together. And I was always trying to think of it in a real linear fashion, like, how do these things fit together? And I racked my brains on it for shit, man, I don't know, a decade at least. And then one day I had this experience with my daughter and my son. I got 2.5-year-old twins. They're about to be 3 in August, but they were 2.5 at the time.
Yep.
And this experience of watching my daughter be touched by my son and say she was hurt, and then he ignored her, and then her feelings were actually hurt, and she said, "You hurt me, Teo," to her brother. And I had to step in as a parent at that moment where you're like, no, you weren't hurt. And a brick dropped in my stomach, because I'm a feelings validator, man. Like, I believe feelings are where our experience becomes real and starts and ends for us. And so it killed me in this moment of being a parent that I had to say, you didn't get hurt. I had to invalidate her feelings, because the first time she said it, like as if she was physically hurt, that was BS. Because I had one of those slow-mo moments as a parent. Like, I saw him flailing around, and like outstretched fingers, he like backhanded her shoulder. Touched her, exactly, just like grazed her. And so the first time she said, "I'm hurt," it was garbage. But the second time, when he was ignoring the fact that she said she was hurt, that was real. Her feelings were hurt. And I had to say no. And somewhere in this, I got this idea that emotions are neither thoughts nor feelings, but emotions are like the connection between thoughts and feelings. And I recognized somewhere that what my daughter at 2.5 years old had this ecstatic experience that we all have of seeing ourselves from the outside.
Can I slow you down, man?
Yeah, man.
Is it an emotion, a feeling?
I don't think it is. I think an emotion is a pathway between thoughts and feelings. And I think that's the big mistake a lot of us make in culture, is that when you feel something, often it causes you to have a thought. When you think something, often it causes you to have a feeling.
Yep.
But what an emotion really is some combination of the two. And I think we've kind of misdefined this thing forever. And it's part of the failing. And anyway, somewhere in all kind of scribbling and trying to understand this, I came up with this idea. It started 2-dimensionally, and it didn't work in 2 dimensions. And then I got this idea back from being a trained chemist through college, that it was a tetrahedron. It was 4 things that were as far removed from each other in 3-dimensional space as possible. And as I started scribbling it out and drawing the lines from one thing to another, it started making sense. And the idea is that I had this idea a while back. I got involved with the Dominican order as a lay Dominican, and they have a big thing about contemplation in the Dominicans, that contemplation is among the roads to God, okay? And we all know that lots of different groups consider meditation a road to God. And in my opinion, contemplation is the thing that connects our thoughts to our spirituality, and meditation is the thing that connects our feelings to our spirituality. And so I came up with this framework by which I really wonder if our thoughts are our own, and sometimes I really wonder if our feelings are our own. Because we know if we're around people, we can sense sometimes what they're feeling.
You're empathetic.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it occurred to me that maybe these are like waveforms that pass across this tetrahedron, and that what really happens, what crystallizes in our material experience of life, is actually some kind of combination of waveforms, kind of like being in an ocean and you have waves coming from different directions, and it's whether or not these waves sync up nicely that actually pushes them out to what we experience in the material world.
What happens all the time, Matt? You walk into a room and you get a good vibe or you get a bad vibe.
Absolutely.
And animals are
Absolutely.
actually even more in tune with it because they're closer to their survival instinct level. We've just separated ourselves from because of society.
I agree.
Society has gave us the false pretense that we're safe because we are organized. We're not in a state of chaos anymore. It's just simply a matter of just going back to our roots. It's the same way our memories function. We have our basic memory is a function of 7 things, right?
Yeah.
That's it. You cannot memorize anything more unless you use geography because we are in tune to survival. We need to know where the river is, where the tree is. We need to know where the lions hung out in the caves. We can memorize 24, 30, 40, 50 things. It's been proven. The world memorization champions have proven this time and time again. They're just normal people.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing unique about them, but they've learned to go back and optimize the very things that kept us alive through the eons.
Absolutely.
It's plain and
Absolutely.
simple.
And my big argument, because we know that the experience of a memory can bring up all the same physical symptoms of being in that moment, I argue that memories and emotions are really no different. The emotions we have in this moment, the only thing is our perspective of time that makes these things different for us. And you can add in, like you said, geography, but even that is a thing. You can be in a completely different place in time and have a memory, and it brings back the emotions from the memory, not from what you're experiencing anywhere in the material world.
Nope.
So,
I got food in my teeth.
no, man, you look good. Looking good.
I want to be talking about. I know what I'm talking about. A big piece of food in my
Dr.
teeth.
Hansen here.
What he was saying is amazing. You're talking about emotions, and
Yeah.
I read that emotions are miracles, and I'm really deep into marketing and stuff like that. I almost don't even want to say this. So
Say
basically,
it. Speak truth.
so human beings are supposedly genetic royalty because we have this ability to manifest or feel emotions.
Bullshit! I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm so sorry. I'm
Tell
so
me.
sorry. Tell me an animal doesn't feel emotions. You look at a dog's
No, I'm
eyes,
talking
you're gonna-
about versus possible other sentient beings.
Oh, possible.
That are more.
Our royalty is based on what now?
We are genetic royalty because of what? No, animals connection. I have animals. I have a dog and a cat.
yeah, right.
And I've sat there and bonded with my animals. I know for a fact they feel everything.
Oh, sure.
And they're hypersensitive feelings. What I'm talking about is the emotions that we feel are something that you want me to just say it.
Yeah.
I'm just some deep conspiracy shit, man.
That's
And
all right. Whatever. It's
okay,
like.
here I'll say it. I totally believe that sentient life is colonized all over the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Despite
It's the most
What?
arrogant thing that has ever come to pass in
That we
all
are
of human
in the
history
universe.
is the idea that we are the only sentient life that exists and that this planet is the only planet in the universe capable of supporting life. How much more arrogant than you
Okay.
can you get?
I'll
Yeah,
take
but
it
wait a
further.
minute, who actually believes that anymore?
You know what, man? There's a lot of ignorance in the world, Stan. There's a lot of ignorance
so-
in the world.
So I also believe that the human race is probably colonized all over the fucking place and other planets that are very similar to Earth.
That'd be
That's
cool.
what I think.
Yeah,
I don't know
like
that
if
for sure. I'm
aliens
not saying
were
that for
coming
sure.
down and like mating with us, and
Doesn't
like,
it remind
I've read
you of
stuff
Forrest?
Like that. Time Life books, man. There was this report about. I have a Time Life book series about the mysteries of the universe, and some guy in Venezuela or something had been abducted 26 times, and his report of being abducted was that he was taken and forced to mate with this alien woman who looked like a beautiful human, but that the whole
Was it
idea was,
Semyasi?
huh?
Semyasi?
What's that? I don't know.
Stan's like, I gotta go, man.
I'm out.
I'm just missing
I just want more food.
Semyasi is
conversation
a
is great,
Pleiadian,
but-
right? A Pleiadian? Semyasi? Or an Andromedan?
Oh, these are like
Okay.
different cultures of.
Okay.
Andromedan,
I
like,
spent
people
a
from
couple
the-
years of my life and I was unemployed at the time and I got really deep into the shit and none of my bills got paid.
Making up for it now. Making up for it now. That's it.
But okay, so we're gonna get it in the comments. It's gonna be great. Tell me about your book.
So the book will be coming out soon. We're finishing the edits, and hopefully, my hope is that it helps people look at life differently. Instead of looking at life as the material reality that we experience, or looking at this world as real and our internal worlds as not real. The way previous generations have kind of invalidated it. That we might look at life from the point of view of experience first, and then look at what that means.
Okay, and the name of your book one more time?
The Tetrahedral Model of
And
Experience.
where can people find it if they want to check it out?
Hopefully on Amazon, because it's
Amazon.
not up yet. Yeah, it's still in edits, but
There you go. Awesome.
All right. Well, we will be by the time they see this, maybe. Yeah. All right, cool.
we'll be finding it soon.